Faith is the willingness to assume that no matter what happens to you, if you tell the truth, it's the best thing that could possibly happen to you. Now, this is a very weird thing to understand. Now, the reason people lie or remain silent, there's two reasons. One is to gain an undeserved advantage, and the other is to escape a deserved punishment. And so people will lie and manipulate or remain silent to, you could say, to twist the fabric of reality so that it makes itself manifest to their benefit. But the question is, benefit by what standards and over what time frame? And so it's definitely the case that you can gain a temporary advantage by deception, but that doesn't mean that you're gaining a medium to long-term advantage. Right, and so then you might say, well, how do I play things out so that I balance short-term, medium-term, and long-term advantage optimally? And the answer to that is you say what you think. Right, and then there's all sorts of things that might happen, including the things that you just described, and it's also potentially the case that you might pay a price for in your career, but you got to ask yourself, do you want to walk down a career road to a destination that requires you to hold your tongue? Like, if you're not popular because of what you say with people who might hire you, you might thank your lucky stars that they don't want you around, because you don't want to be anywhere near them. And if you do say what you have to say and someone comes along and says, you're just exactly the sort of person we're looking for, then you get to go and work with those people. And that means that you have a life that's actually yours, instead of the life of whatever lie you happen to be telling for the sake of convenience. And so, and I would say too, you should be afraid of saying what you think, but you should be a lot more afraid of hiding. Right, you start hiding. I saw this with professors, and it's still happening now. It's like, so the undergraduate says, well, I have to write what the professor wants or I won't get the grade. And then, which is, by the way, far less true than you might fear, even among relatively woke and ideologically corrupt professors. And then you're a graduate student and you think, well, I can't really say what I think because I haven't got a faculty position yet. And then you're a junior faculty member and you think, God, I'm not tenured. But when I'm tenured, I'll say what I think, and then you get tenured and you think, well, I'm not full professor yet. And then you're a full professor and you're a 35-year-old coward who hasn't said a true word in 20 years. And now you think all of a sudden, because you're secure, you're going to be brave. That's your theory of courage, is it? The more secure you get, the braver you'll be. Well, that's as stupid a theory of courage as you could possibly hope to develop. So start now and grow a hide, like a thick hide, and see what happens. Like my experience, and it's not only my experience, but my experience with the people I know is that I know lots of people who paid a price for abiding by their conscience, and a lot of them are riding pretty high at the moment. Right, things swung around in a remarkable way, and that tends to happen. Now, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you tell the truth and they shoot you, and that's the end of that. But, I mean, Jay Bhattacharya, I know Jay, and Jay is an epidemiologist at Stanford, and a good one, and he wrote the Great Barrington Declaration and got pilloried by his compatriots for doing so, but Stanford has a pretty solid tenure arrangement, and also Stanford has the Hoover Institute, so people who are more conservative have a bit of protection. But Bhattacharya was dragged through the mud in a pretty major way, and now he runs the National Institute of Health. Right, and he's not the only one that such things have happened to. And so I would say, you know, the truth is a long-term and profound game, and you got to decide if you're going to play it, and there'll be costs just like there are to everything. But if you're going to align yourself with anything in your life, you might as well align yourself with the truth, because then at least you have reality on your side, and that's a good deal as you're progressing forward. So take your lumps now and learn how to do it, and you'll be fortified optimally when you make your way out into the world. When I applied to graduate school, I wrote a very strange letter. And I did that on purpose. I told my potential advisor as clearly as I could exactly what I was like. For better or for worse. And there's no doubt that many people read that letter and thought there isn't a hope in hell that I'd give that guy an interview, but the person I did end up working with read the letter and thought, that's just the person I'm looking for. And I had a great relationship with him. I still work with him. It's 45 years later. If you lie, then the life you have isn't yours. The life you have is the life of the spirit of the lie. And if that's the life you want, then go ahead and lie with silence or with commission. But if you want your life, then tell the truth. Your truth is you. And the life you have, if you tell the truth, is your life. Well, what possible threat would be sufficient to entice you to give that up? Right?